In this lesson for Bobcat Cam, we're going to take a look at contours and how they can be used. A contour is a group with a start point and direction of cut. It's mainly used for controlling toolpath if needed. The toolpaths do have their own start points, controls, and directions, but this is another way to do it while you're drawing, so that way you can just pick it and not have to worry about it. To find these, you'll go to Other and Contour. Here you can see you have a direction. You can either go clockwise or counterclockwise. We'll start with clockwise. And you can set the longest entity of the chain as the start, or you can pick your start point. So if I use pick start point, and I hold my shift key and I click here, and then right click and OK it, you can see it sets that entity as my first piece, and the direction around is the clockwise. Now let's look at that again. Let's hold it here on this entity. So now you can see it went to the next one because I was past the midway point. So it knows it must go here to the next one. If I was to start on this side of it and OK it, now that entity will be the first one. So what that is showing is if you're past the midway point of the line, it's going to start on the next one because you're going clockwise. If you're before the midway point, that'll be your first entity. The arrow always represents the start point and direction. Now, if you want to reverse that, let's say you've already created one and you decide you want to reverse it, in the Utilities menu there's a reverse contour option. This you simply just click on the arrow, right click and OK it, and it reverses the direction. Now if I wanted to do one on the inside shape and I still wanted to climb mill it, I would go Other and Contour, go counterclockwise, choose where I want to start, chain select it, right click and OK. Now you don't have to just do full shapes. For instance, if I just want to cut maybe from here to here, I pick the first one, go to the end, hold my shift key and click it, and then right click and OK. Now I don't really have to worry about the start points as much, but I still want to look at these, but they're really not looking at the direction off of these because it's looking at first entity and last entity. So you can see he's going clockwise even though counterclockwise was chosen. So when you're doing an open shape, it's seeing the first one you click and then the shift click is the end of it. Right click and OK it. So there's my start and there's my end. And you can see when I hover over it, it grouped those three entities together. So this is one way you could do a cut down both sides, and then when you get to the cam, you don't have to worry about what entities to select. You would just be selecting your contour. Now how do you get rid of a contour? Because contours are not modifiable, so if I wanted to make changes to this geometry, I have to get rid of the contour. You simply turn on selection mode, select the contour, and delete it, and it brings back your original geometry. If we go to the next window here, maybe I want to do a contour around the outside of this, but I want to start in the middle of this entity. And right now currently you can see it's one piece. So if I was to try and apply that contour to this one, go counterclockwise, select start point. You can see how it went to the next entity. Well, let's get rid of that. To start somewhere other than the beginning or end of an entity, you have to have a break point. However you want to do it, like if I want to do break, divide, two pieces, pick this and OK it. So now you can see I have a break point. Now if I try and do this, I'm starting at that point because I made two entities out of the one. So when you're working with those long sides and you want to start in the middle of it, just remember with a contour you have to have a break in the entity to be able to do that. The next thing you could use this for is, let's say I have a part like this that has a lot of pockets in it and I want to control the start point on all those the same. Well, if you don't do it here in the feature, you've got to go back and pick each start point of each one. Well, I can go ahead and create a contour, and I'm going to say I want to go counterclockwise start point, and I'm going to start right here on this one, just like that. Now it's small there, but if I zoom in, you'll see, oh, I'm going this way with my counterclockwise. Now if I want that same start point and direction on each one additional, the way I can do that is simply this: Utilities, Translate with Copy. The same spacing as the box that's there, and if I pick that contour, see how it's a one click, and OK it. Now you'll notice what I did was I just copied the contour. Contours can be copied and translated and moved around. So now that I've created a row of them, I could go utilities translate, 7 more, make this 0, make this -4. I'm going to grab those 4 contours. Let's do that again. Utilities, translate. Well, that's good. I'm just going to click to 4 of these. Let's zoom in on one of those. Maybe I didn't do the right number. No, that's right. Okay, we'll just make it a little bit bigger where I can see them there. Utilities, translate. Sometimes I always got to remember just to slow down. Go through here and pick the contours. Yeah, it's just graphical. You can see the arrows being selected. Right click and OK it, and then OK the translate, and there you can see all my arrows have been translated down throughout the whole thing. So what that does is when I go to do my cam for this, I would simply just window pick the whole area of the boxes or pockets I want to do, or profiles, or whatever you're doing, and it would have the same start point and direction on every one of them. So contours can be used in that context as well. Just remember, it is a grouping, and then if you want to get rid of it, to turn on selection mode, click the contour and delete it. This concludes this lesson.